In this video, I'm going to show you how to work with control points to sort of stretch out areas on a surface. I'm going to use this volume right here. I'm going to make a copy of it and bring it out a little ways so it's clear from all these other objects. I'm going to move it over to the side here. Okay, this is a closed poly surface, and in order for us to work with these control points, we're going to need to explode the volume so that it's a series of surfaces. So here it is right here. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to type in explode. Okay. Now later, after we've completed working with the form, we'll return it back to a closed poly surface, but in the meantime we want to keep it in its current state. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this rectangular volume and sort of fold out the edges so it looks as if this has been sort of inflated. So as I click on these surfaces, you can see it's no longer a closed form. All right. Over on the front view, I'm going to draw a rectangle. Okay, and then I'm going to move that rectangle to the center of my object. Okay, so there. And now what I'm going to do is offset that rectangle. Type in offset, distance is 4, select the curve, then I can get rid of the original rectangle that I've drawn. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit and I'm going to select that object and delete it. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to inflate the 4 sides, the top, the two sides, not the front and the back, and the bottom to reach out to these points right here. So I'll start off with this surface over here. All right, and as I mentioned, this video is going to walk you through working with control points. What I'm going to do is insert control points. So type in insert control point, select the surface, and then pick a point on that surface. Okay, now as you can see, it's made it in the horizontal direction, but I really want that to be in the vertical direction so that I can then stretch those points. So I'm going to go back to insert control points, type in D for direction, and change it to V. Okay, now when I pick a point, you can see that it has generated a vertical line. If I want to view those control points, I type in points on, pick the object, and as you can see, it's generated these 2 points here. Now what I'm going to be doing is stretching them to these corners. So what I can do then is, with points on, select one of those points, and it'll ask me surface point. I'm going to choose that, and I'm going to drag it to one of the points of my rectangle. I'll do the same thing up here. Drag that. Okay. And I'm basically going to do that same process all the way around. So let's move on to the top surface. Okay, insert control point, select the surface, and choose a point on there, and again it's generated it in the direction I didn't want it to go. So the other way to do this would be, while you're still in the command, to type in D for direction and then change it to the opposite value. I can then add a surface point and press enter. Now when I click on the surface, I should see that one has been generated across the middle. All right. Okay, now, since I left this one here, I'm going to need to get rid of that control point line. So remove control point. So as you can see, there are more control points than I need. If I try to stretch from this point right here, it's going to leave a crease down the middle. So I want to remove these two. Okay. So I'm going to pick the surface and then double click on that surface, and you can see that now only two are appearing, and I can then take those ones and drag them to the points that I created. Okay, keep going around this object. All right, we'll work on this one now. Insert control point, select the surface, and I'm going to change my direction to be the opposite way. Okay. Points on, and there they are, and I simply click on them and drag them to their position. Surface points, select, drag that down, and I just have one more to do on the bottom here. I'm going to zoom in a little closer. Insert control point, pick that bottom surface. Okay, and direction, let's change that back to new. Okay, then when I do points on, select it. I see those two grips, and I'm going to grab this one, drag it there, this one, drag it here. And that's basically what the form should look like. Okay. Now, when I click on them, you can see they're still open surfaces. I just need to join them into a single closed poly surface. So I'm going to type in create solid, and I'll then select the whole group here. Now when I click on it, I should see that it says closed poly surface.